Yeah. Okay, yep, we here, man. Just going through some technical difficulties right now. Man, it's crazy. But in the building, what can we do? But make it work, baby. Make it work. Hey, when you got lemons, you make orange juice. Oh man, I was getting killed earlier, man. Boy, it's like the laughter, man. The laughter, the laughter, the laughter. You know, it's funny. We have some characters, we have scholars, we have a lot within this space, man. It's crazy. You know, uh, the crazy aspect is, man, when it come down to it, like, what are we doing? What are we representing? What are we putting in the, the ears of people and the thoughts of all these people that are listening to these live streams? What are they taking from this? What are they? What are the concepts? What are the concepts? Are they coming in thinking that I'm outside, so you're gonna hear a little noise, and I'm at work, so you're gonna get a couple pauses in between, interlude, commercial breaks. I actually got a couple of commercials I need to start promoting. You know, got some sponsors been talking to, and one of these sponsors, man, cool brother, been knowing this guy for years, and I was telling him about pushing his business, and the biggest thing that he told me was he would only deal with dudes that you know promote love within the family because you know this space it is what it is, but you know he been listening and looking at a little bit of the hate mail, and he was kind of upset of all the stuff that he heard, to where he think ah don't want to put words in his mouth, but just wasn't pleasant. But yeah, man, gotta have this talk. Hey y'all, the crazy part is I've been on mute this whole time, just talking. Shout out to Perfect Timing, man. What's going on? Yeah, I don't play the music and stuff like that at the beginning. I don't play music at all because I played music one time and they actually, tried to flag my stream. So after that, I just partake in, I make my own beats and I make my own song, stuff like that. But yeah, man, when it come down to it, you know, we got a issue within the community we got to handle, and the biggest issue within the community is funny, man. Is garnering the people that we hopefully are gonna be the ones that's gonna, push the youth in the right direction. You know, the ones that's gonna give us some type of input into the next generation. We got to get them some. We got to get them some power, and the aspect of giving them power, we got to give them the knowledge. Because that's all. When you look at it, what is the knowledge? The knowledge equals power. You know, knowledge itself, understanding and having the wisdom, knowing what you want to do. I always talk about that knowledge itself. Knowing who you are, knowing what you want out of life. You know, Me and Irv had this talk earlier. A young man can't sit there. Hold on, excuse me, just sneeze. But a young man can't sit there and say he's a man and he hasn't developed the keys to becoming a man. You know, I can say my son is becoming a young man by the way he's moving, his actions. You know, but I can't say my son is a man if he can't defend himself properly. If he doesn't have the knowledge in order to move forward, to give some understanding to people, outside of his age or older, to give him that title as being a man. You know, you ever had that point where you know Sir Ism talked about it when his sons got their own place and were doing their thing, and say he told his ex or whomever he was dealing with, was like, yeah, the boys, I think they're ready. We shouldn't have no problem. They gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. And that's the whole aspect. When you get to that point, when you can say that they don't have it all, but for the point of them just going off the knowledge you've given them and certain little things, they're gonna make it to a certain point in life where they shouldn't have that many problems. It's gonna be good for them. Shouldn't have to worry. And from that aspect, that's what a lot of people are gonna be, garnering the, fixing their lives and hoping that everything is gonna be perfect. I mean, not gonna be perfect and peachy cream, but but the point of it is to almost be perfect. That's the key. But getting back to this marriage thing, man, I've always said this. Make sure you're choosing the right one. I've always talked about focusing on the money, men knowing that they want something out of a relationship. They got to go get it. You know, they want a certain woman. They got to go look for her. And if they don't find her, guess what? They got to move on. Life goes on. Even after relationships. Like I said, I honestly never had a bad relationship due to the fact that I don't foresee myself getting caught up in certain situations. I know that people can be deceiving. So if I know that coming into a relationship and you deceive me, eh, I kind of figured, so you got me. You know, if I'm going into a situation where me and the lady starting off, we're focusing on, building a bond with each other, and she's constantly playing games. She's constantly putting herself in the mind frame of getting over on me. but I choose to stay. Who fault is that? Now, I'm just wanting to be in a relationship that bad. I'm gonna let somebody play me, you know. And one of my homeboys, he said this one time, and it was funny. Told a guy he played him like a fiddle. He played him like a flute, you know. And I laughed at it when he said it because it was funny. But to understand what he was talking about, I don't want to go too deep in it because I don't want to give out too much. But pretty much, he basically was telling him that far as the situation he was in, he kind of controlled that, because the flute, you can control how you play the flute. When you blow into it and you put your fingers on certain holes, you control the aspect of how you play that flute. Now, for people that sit there and be like, I can't play this flute, it's because you don't know how to play it, so you don't have the control on playing it. You know, it's a learning process. The person who knows how to play the flute, even if you let's just say that you don't even have the point of learning how to play that flute thoroughly, the system, and it's funny is you could still blow in it and make some type of noise. And that's the biggest thing that some people gotta understand. You The way you control the situation, doing in some aspect of doing some things within is ultimately learning. And that's the biggest goal with teaching the kids. That's the biggest problem we're gonna have going into the future with all these kids coming up, don't have fathers, don't have no one there, pushing the knowledge towards them. How are they gonna defend themselves in the world? When it comes down to it, that's like my boys. My biggest thing is, my boys in their education. You know, if they can get to a point of establishing the education uh with certain aspect the keys to life, they should be able to figure that out. Because, the biggest part I want to focus on them is getting paid and have an understanding of what life is. And the funny part of doing it, I just let know is some kids get it though. That's like the biggest thing. Some kids get it at an early age, what they know they should be doing, and some of them don't. You know, I had a little cousin. He was to the point where he knew that at any given time he had to slang and bang. It was at his disposal, and he was ready for it. Yeah, man. A little pause for the cause every now and then, but like I said, my biggest thing with my boys is I want them to get to the aspect of Oh, yeah. Like I'm having connection issues. Just blame it on that. But my biggest aspect, like I said, is to get them focused on what they're gonna do in life. You know, if they want to be an artist, one of my sons is funny. Guys in the cars a lot. He told me he want to own a Tesla dealership. Very good at very good at reading. Okay at math. And my thing is, like I told him several times, you got to be good at math just as reading because the biggest thing he know about reading is he got to read those contracts in order to get paid. That's one of his biggest catches that he know in order to focus on the reading aspect, but he got to know how to crunch them numbers, you know. And it's like I have twins, so they fight at doing things like one wants to be good at reading, one wants to be good at math. I've told them to be good at both, but when it comes down to it, they feel as if one can only it can only be one, almost like a Highlander moment, you know, to the point it can only be one. They don't want to be good at math and reading, so I have to get that whole mentality that it only could be one out of their head because one of them, this guy, he's good at math and he loves competition. The tutor that I have for him, she always talking about when I give him little tests and I give him little quizzes to where I test him out, and the other brother, he gets them every time, and the other one, she said I encourage him to say, you know, you can do it, you can beat him, and the other one's like, nah, he ain't. Trust me, he ain't. He that much confident in himself, you know. Even with them play fighting, the other one he's bigger than him, but he always dominates the slim one because he has that courage, man, to where he's gonna go. And it's funny because I'm getting off subject, but it remind me when my one of my partners was watching my twins, and a situation came with his son, messing with one of them, picking on him and stuff. And so I'm like, hey man, will you letting your son pick on my son? I see if they were around the same age. This dude like damn near almost what 6 7 years. I think bro about I want to say 5 years. I can give him 5 years. Yeah, he about five or 6 years older than my boys. But the thing of it is with him, you know, he was playing with him, messing with him, you know, and my boy picked up a bat and hit him in the mouth. And my partner was like, "Well, you can't complain because when you was messing with him, you know, I ain't do nothing to you. So you think I'm gonna do something to him when he hit you? You shouldn't have been messing with him. And it's not just one time he get into situations, he get himself out of them. But the point of it is he not too much scared, you know, and it's funny. But back to the whole marriage thing, man. It's such a crazy aspect, man. Knowing who you're dealing with, know who and what you're dealing with when you going into these marriages, man. I keep trying to tell people, man, don't sit here and get into a marriage thinking that it's a guarantee you're gonna be in there forever because situations do happen. People have mindsets that change, but the point of it is, like I said earlier, you want to decrease the damage. That's like the biggest part. If I ever get a divorce, it's to the point where me and my wife have a good relationship to where we just, all right, and it's like the biggest part if we ever get a divorce, she get what she need out of a relationship. I get what I need, no problems. Issue at hand, with a lot of people. You got to understand this. When it comes to a relationship, you know, generally speaking, it's only going to be one leader. So you can say what you want to say, it's only going to be one leader. You might have somebody that leads every once in a while, but generally, like I'm saying, it has to be only one, like that Highlander mentality. It can only be one. You know, you can say what you want to say, do what you want to do, all that stuff to the aspect, but if you're not dealing with only one, you're gonna have some issues because who's gonna be the biggest in the relationship, far as who's gonna gain the power, who's gonna want to, make the bigger decisions. The person who makes the decisions, they got to be wise. I mean, you got to understand what you're doing. You're putting the family in jeopardy if you make the wrong decision. So, as a man, you lead the family, but on certain decisions, as far as finance, she might have to, run that category because, you know, if you always spend your money every weekend balling out at the club, drinking, you know, that's not going to be a good thing. And with her, she's going to the Prada store, buying all this Prada. Like, how are you going to work that relationship? You know, you want to go buy something, but you can't because all the money gone. Somebody spent the money. Where's the budget? That's a lot of keys in to get married, man. A lot of people don't want to talk about. The biggest aspect, the kids. That's me. My whole thing was more or less, even with my wife, like how my kids were gonna turn out. A lot of guys not focused on that. What's going on with the kids? How are your kids going to turn out? You know, if you dealing with a dude that ain't about nothing, would you expect more out of him if he did a little bit better? Or would you just, in general, not even deal with this guy and find somebody else to deal with? Same thing with a woman. You know, women always, guys in this space, always talking about how bad these women are. The point of it is, why would you deal with her in the first place? You can give me 100 reasons why women are bad in this space. But give me 100 reasons why you dealt with her because it's showing. Guys who been in bad relationships get burnt. That's what we have in this space more or less. A lot of guys who've been burnt, you know, I say burnt, but more or less just pitfalls and got in trouble with a lot of the women because, like I always say, it ain't your beauty, it's your booty. You know, come to the aspect in which, you're looking at that body and you're not focused on the real issue. You know, she ain't got no brain. She ain't all the way there, but she got a big butt though. I try to I stress this so much to guys. If you dealing with that woman for her body and she treats you a certain way, you can't get mad at her because that's what you invested your time in, her body. So you have to be happy with the results that you get because you did it. You know, you bought it. Where does peace go? You bought it throughout. You try to say, well, this the best I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna go on and deal with this or whatever. So that's what you get out of that whole system. Can I be mad for you? I could be, but in the end, it's your decision. It's almost like who made the decision to want to get married. You know, ultimately, if she made a decision and you agreed to it, can you get mad at her? Hey, you know they made a song about that. But that's like the biggest man to me. What I see in the manosphere for the most part, that's like the biggest issue that I see with a lot of guys. You know, because some of them, I mean, being honest, when are you gonna ever get a fine girl like that again? So what do? Take advantage of it and wipe it up, not knowing the issues and things that come on with it. Hold on, right quick. I got a call. Sorry about that. Hold on. Man, it's like big trouble in little China. I broke my dolly. Hold on, right quick. Yeah, when it rains it pours, y'all. Just going through a little situation at the job, but we gonna keep pushing. Yeah. So like I say, it's funny, man. What we doing to ourselves, getting married to the wrong people, and expecting those people to, change. You know, Uh, if I give her the ring, she'll stop being promiscuous. If she's always been promiscuous before you met her, she's gonna continue being promiscuous. Same thing with the women. I mean, I'm quite sure Derek Jackson, the old lady, kind of knew that what he was doing before they got married. I mean, they were together how long, and then all of a sudden got married. I mean, let's even take it down to the other grade of Drake, the situation that Drake had. Drake and his relationship. I mean, Drake messing with that girl. You know, hell, Drake. He just he was doing what he was doing. You know, he got that little money. He out there kicking it with the honeys. And the other dude, he paid for it. You know, that was like the biggest issue with, that situation. Everybody trying to blame Drake. Everybody trying to blame the girl. But like I said, he should have knew. He was in a 8 year fiance relationship with this chick. So he was with her for 8 years. Took you 8 years to figure this out. I mean, perfect. People understand that she was already out here doing this, but for the ones that don't know, no, she was. I mean, come on. This the only celebrity she's ever, slept with or dealt with. That she did it this one time, 9 times out of 10, she did it again. The biggest part, a lot of people don't understand, she got caught. Yeah, so, like I said, I'm moving around, but like I said, the biggest part was she got caught. If she would have never got caught, you think she'd still be doing what she doing? She'll still be doing the same thing. You know, when it come down to it, hey, she getting something out of the deal. She got a good man at home. She got a career she trying to pursue. In the end, it is what it is, you know. A lot of people just generally don't pay attention to the signs. That's like one of the biggest issues, you know. Roger talked about this, you know. I talked several times about my wife, you know, we have little talks and stuff, and there was an issue came out about somebody, you know, cheating and doing what they do, and she felt sorry. I'm like, leave that alone. That ain't none of your business. You ain't in that type of relationship. Leave it alone, you know. And pretty much, you gotta understand. I mean, a lot of men say this, and it's true, and I believe it to be, and most women do too. When it come down to women, there are a lot of women that's on code, but you know, there's a lot of women that say, well, you know, I'm not gonna participate in it, but I get it. You know, they understand. Yeah, but like I said, you know, when it comes to that code thing, man, you know, a lot of women. I think I'm about to end this because I gotta take care of some. Might keep getting in contact with me, but I might come back a little bit, probably about 2 or 3 hours. So I gotta take this. And like I always say, we gone.